So you want to be a better people manager, but you don't have time to implement any massive changes? You want to get the maximum progress for the minimum effort? So here are 5 leadership tips that take hardly any effort to implement and give you seriously big results. No long-winded intro, let's get right into it. Show your human side. So you might be the new boss, but it doesn't all have to be about work. Make sure your team knows what you do as a person. What do you enjoy? What makes you tick? What's your family like? What are your hobbies and interests? What's your career history? What are your achievements? Obviously, you don't have to lay out your entire life history, and your team will judge you on what you do to make their lives easier, not what your hobbies are. But showing that human side of being a manager is absolutely vital for establishing a culture of trust and a really close rapport with your teams. We've all had managers who we literally know nothing about other than what we see at work, and that can be absolutely fine. But I'm sure you can remember those managers and colleagues that you really related to, and I bet a lot of that was down to some connection outside work or an understanding of their wider lives that intrigued you or interested you. So as you build your relationships with your teams, then let them into the human side of your character. It's also a great way to establish bonds with your own manager and clients and stakeholders. If you can get to know people on that human level, it makes a big difference. Listen, this is another super easy management tip that gives huge benefit, and that's keep your own mouth closed and your ears open. And that might sound obvious. People say it all the time. You should listen, you should learn to listen, and you should pay attention. Yeah, obvious. But learning to be a great listener is actually a skill set in itself, and it takes a lot of practice and refinement. Shifting your focus from speaking to listening, even slightly, is a guaranteed way to improve relationships in your team. And it really helps you as a manager discover what makes the people in your team tick. One of the most frequent complaints about unpopular managers is that they talk way too much. And when they're not talking, you can tell they're taking no notice of what you're saying to them. It's so easy to tell when you're speaking and someone's not listening to you. And as such, shifting that focus and developing great listening skills is easy, free, and gives a huge boost to your effectiveness as a people manager. You'll hear people talk about active listening as a concept. In fact, I've got a video about it on this very channel. Why don't you try some of the methods that are recommended in it? You'll notice an almost immediate difference. Develop a thicker skin. As a manager, you'll be subject to a lot of feedback. It'll be constant. It'll be from your own team, from your own manager, from your peers, and don't forget your clients and stakeholders either. And most of that feedback won't be the type of feedback that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy and comfortable. In fact, it'll mostly be areas that you can, should, or really do need to improve, or something that somebody wasn't happy with. That's not to say you won't get plenty of pats on the back and lots of positivity as well, but as a boss, the balance will certainly be more towards the self-improvement side. So as a new manager, set your expectation accordingly. The constructive feedback is actually really vital to your own self-development as a leader. It's way better to know where you have to get better rather than to have somebody be afraid to tell you what you need to improve. So take it as a real bonus that you get to hear this constructive feedback. And the leaders that make constructive feedback their friend, or that those that don't take it to heart as a personal attack, are the ones who make progress. Sure, some of the messages you might hear might be hard to swallow or might not make you feel great for a while, but developing that ability to see feedback for what it actually is crucial. And what feedback is a huge opportunity to get better and better and better. I've seen some new managers take a big objection to incoming feedback. They become bitter and they deny it as wrong or irrelevant. And they're the ones that don't get the benefit of self-improvement. Instead, they'll continue making the same mistakes and failing to progress. So, as a new leader, treat criticism as your friend. Accept you're going to get a lot of it. Accept some of it is going to hurt. Don't take it personally and make it work to your advantage. Have a role model. You might already have this one covered, but one of the most helpful things that I did when I became a people manager was to look around my own organisation for leaders that I respected. Leaders that I could see were effective and appreciated. People that I looked at and thought, I wish I could be like them. Well, you can. You can be like these great leaders in your organisation. They're not blessed with magic powers. They don't have a special gift. All they've got is a little bit more experience. But they've used that time and experience to build skills and frameworks, learn the skills of leadership, learn what's required so that they've got the tools needed to lead and inspire their teams. It's just a case of having a bigger toolkit. So get looking. And crucially, don't just look at these people, but reach out. Find the people, reach out to them, because you'll find that as leaders and as enthusiasts of leadership, they'll be absolutely more than happy to help you develop your own leadership capabilities. And you'll probably find that many of them become career mentors, sponsors, and people that you can rely on to help you get better. There are loads of great leaders out there, and loads at your own organisation. or in your own circle of interaction? What makes them so good? Well, find out and copy them. Copy the things that do so well. Make them part of your own capability. I've based my own leadership style on probably about 4 or 5 different people that have inspired me over the years. Leaders at varying levels with varying skill sets. All have taught me some key skills that have become fundamental to my own style of leadership, and the same can happen to you. So start building that network. It's easy, it's free, and it pays back big time. Use the one-to-one meeting. So as a new manager, one of the most critical of all tools is the one-to-one meeting. And it should be one of the very first things that you do as a people manager. Get that one-to-one time booked in the calendar with all the people in your team, as many as you possibly can, and certainly all of your direct reports. If you can do it weekly, that's great, but obviously adjust the cadence according to the size of the team. I'm regularly surprised by how many senior managers or people managers don't have any one-to-one meetings with their people. And if that's the situation, let me know in the comments. This really is a chance missed. Because having regular one-to-ones allows you as a boss to get to know your teams super fast, and it allows you to really connect and empathize with their own unique and specific challenges. You'll begin to understand their hopes and fears, their motivations, their issues, their goals. You'll be able to guide and mentor and coach and develop their careers, all through spending that valuable time with them. And they'll tell you what they like about you as well and ways you can improve. We've got a couple of videos on this channel all about the one-to-one meeting and how it can be your best friend. It's an absolute essential for any new manager to get into place in the first week. And also make sure you're having one-to-ones with your own manager as well, because some don't put them in place. This channel really is the friend of new and experienced people managers. I'll help you get better at work every single day. So have a look at this video for more killer advice. See you later.